Don't worry if you are too busy, okay? Because I know your other
Okay,
work
yeah.
is
Hello, teacher.
very busy. Ah, Mrs. Ha.
Yes. Okay. Lesson, please.
Okay. Thank you,
I'm coming
Mrs.
for
Ha.
class now. Okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mrs. Ha. Come in. Come in. Chang Hu. Chang Hu. Xin chào.
Hello, teacher.
How are you, Chang Hu?
I'm fine.
Good. Have you had a good week?
Yeah.
Good.
Fine with not too bad.
Not too bad. Okay, that's good. Huang Ang. Huang Ang.
Yes. Yes.
When when do you plan to do the Ielts test? Any idea yet?
I don't know. Maybe I guess I should do it at the start of the 12th grade.
Okay, when is that? When is that?
Um, I think I should do it in September
September is start of the
next
12th
year.
grade.
Next
Okay,
2 years.
September next year, is it?
Next 2 years.
So in 2 more years.
Yes.
Okay, so this year is 2025. You mean 2027. Is that right?
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean at the September of 2026.
Next year. Okay. Okay, I'll just make a message note of that. Thank you, Huang Ang. Chung Hu. Chung Hu, oi. Fong Dok Ang, Chao Gon.
Yes. Hello,
How are
teacher.
you? How are you, Fong Dok Ang?
I feel a bit painful.
Oh, really? What happened?
Yesterday I have a football match with my
Uh-huh.
friend,
Yeah.
and I scored 2 goals and one assist. But
Yeah.
my nail is start bleeding, and they you know mm, they need to be removed.
Oh, sorry to hear that. So when will you get it removed? When?
Um, I think it's the next week.
Okay.
I will go to the doctor.
Okay. Okay. Sorry to hear that, Fong Dok Ang. I hope you feel better soon. Now, Fong Dok Ang, when do you have any plan to sit the IELTS test sometime?
Uh, I think in I think in the future I will have, but it's not now. I think
But so not this year,
yeah,
next
not this
year,
year. I think
next
so.
year sometime. Okay. Okay, thank you. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Chung Hu, do you have any plan to sit the IELTS test sometime?
Mm, like I will training my listening by by doing some IELTS listening test. I
Sure,
found.
sure. But will you sit the test this year or next year?
I think I will do it this year. This year, yeah,
This year.
yeah.
This year. And when? Any idea? Like what month, for example, are you thinking?
Mm, about that, I have no idea.
No idea. Okay,
Yeah,
but so later this year, you think?
yeah.
Later this year. Okay. Okay. That's good. Gives me an idea just of where everyone is planning to do their test or when everyone is planning to do their test. Okay. I will just wait another minute to see who is going to join us. Le Doc Ang, chào con.
Hello,
Le,
teacher.
how are you, Le Doc Ang?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good. Can you turn your camera on, please, Le Doc Ang? Okay, that's great. Thank you. So, le duc ang, nok ling, sin chao.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, nok ling. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. How is your leg?
My legs is better.
Oh, good. So, feeling better this week.
Yes.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Are you still using crutches to
Yes,
walk?
yes.
Okay. Okay. For how much longer do you need crutches?
I need this for 1 month.
Okay. So maybe another what? Another 4 weeks?
Yes.
Okay. Good. Good. It's good conversation practice, Knockling. Good. I'm glad you understand. I'm glad you're feeling better. Now, Knockling, do you have a plan to sit the IELTS test sometime?
Mm,
Like this year, next year? Any idea?
I think it's this summer.
This summer.
Yes.
Okay, this summer. So any idea of what month, Knockling?
Mm, I think it's August.
About August. Okay,
Yeah.
just gives me an idea. I'm asking everyone the same question, just to give me an idea. Okay, thank you, Knockling. Um, Le Duc Ang. Le Duc Ang.
Hi. Hello, teacher.
Okay, looked like a nice. What were you drinking, Le Duc Ang? What were you drinking?
Coffee.
Sorry?
I was drinking coffee.
Coffee. Okay, good. Good to start the morning with some coffee. Help your brain work faster, I hope. Le Duc Ang. All right, Le Duc Ang, do you have any plan to sit the IELTS test sometime?
Maybe 12th grade. Yeah.
12, so that is next year?
No, it's 2 years later.
Oh, in 2 years, like, so 2027, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so not for a long time. Okay. All right, thank you, Le Duc Ang and Ming Nok. Chào gon, Ming Nok.
Yes, hello, teacher.
How are you, Ming Nok?
I caught a
Good.
flu. I caught a
You
flu.
have some flu. Oh no. I'm
It's a,
so
it is, I catch a cold. Yeah, it's not a
yeah.
flu.
Okay, you have a cold. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you feel better soon, Ming Nok.
Yeah.
So I'm asking everyone the same question. Do you have any plan to sit the IELTS test sometime?
I think I would do it if I could. I would finish it before June, but I think I have to finish it in July or August.
July or August? Okay, gives me an idea. Okay, thank you, Ming Nok. All right, welcome to class, everyone. We will get started now. So we are going to continue with writing task 1, of course, and we will also do some speaking part 2, the subject that I sent you for homework 2 weeks ago. We're going to do that subject for speaking part 2. We didn't do this last week, so we will do it this week. Before we start, do we have any questions? Does anyone have any questions for me? Okay, let's go. We're going to start, though, with a look at another grammar mistake. Another grammar mistake. Huang Ang, can you see mistake number 7 on your screen?
Yes, I can see it clearly.
Okay, great. All right, everyone, please watch and listen to this. Thank you.
Okay, let's have a look at mistake number 7. And for this one, we're going to visit France. Maybe. Let's have a look.
If I will go to Paris, I will definitely visit the Eiffel Tower.
Right, well, the Eiffel Tower is beautiful. Did you spot the mistake? This is what they said. And what it should be is, if I go to Paris, I will definitely visit the Eiffel Tower. Although it's a future possibility, in English, the if clause takes the present And then the next clause takes the future, I will definitely go. Okay. It's a first conditional expressing this idea of future possibility. It's often different structures in different languages. But in English, if I go to Paris, I will eat croissant or whatever. Okay. The way to fix this is basically think about 5 things that might happen tomorrow. It might rain. Oh, my friend might visit tomorrow, actually. Make a list of 5 and then make 5 first conditional sentences about a future possibility, right? If that happens. So you'd be saying, it might rain tomorrow. If it rains tomorrow, I will stay at home. My friend might visit. Well, if my friend visits, we will probably go out for a drink together. And keep practicing this transposing, speaking the answers out loud, making it about your own life and experience. And that's how you'll start to change the mistakes. Great. Let's move on.
Okay, everyone, I'll just give you a little bit of quick practice with this. The mistake he's talking about is that when you are doing conditional sentences, some people, they put both phrases into future tense. Only the second phrase needs to be future tense. I will show you what I mean, I hope. I'm going to share this in chat with you now, get you to try practice some of these. Okay. Here is the first one. This is one of those mistakes where it is easier to practice it than for me to explain it. All right? Okay, so I'm going to send you this in chat in just a moment. Okay, everyone, I've sent you a message in chat. Okay. Please correct this sentence. Okay, this sentence has a mistake in it. Please send me in chat, please type for me the correction. If I will go to Hui, I will visit the pagoda is incorrect. Ming Nok, thank you. Chung Hu. Chung Hu. Chung Hu, please remember to use capital I, okay? When you are talking about I yourself, must be a capital letter. Okay, Chung Hu?
All right. All right.
Good.
Give me a moment.
Yeah. Okay, you are correct. Chung Hu, Le Doc Ang, correct. Nok Ling, correct. Fong Doc Ang, correct. Huang Ang, correct. Okay, good, everyone. Here's another one. That's good. You have no problem with this so far. This is good. Okay, everyone, here is the next one. Okay, this one a little bit more tricky. Okay, Chung Hu, not quite correct. Not quite. Huang Ang, you are correct. Fong Duk Ang, you are correct. Le Duk Ang, you are correct. Nok Ling, you are correct. Chung Hu, sorry, that is still not quite correct. Ming Nok, just waiting for you, please, Ming Nok. Maybe your connection is a little bit slow. Okay, not quite correct, Ming Nok. Okay, the answer is you must use rains with an S if it rains tomorrow. Okay, if it rains tomorrow. Rains must have an S on it. If it rains tomorrow. This is a common collocation, by the way. If it rains tomorrow, if it rains this afternoon, if it rains tonight. Rains in this context always has an S. Mengnock, does that make sense to you? Mengnock? Mengnock, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, does that make sense, Mengnock?
Yes,
Rain,
understood.
rain must have an S. If it rains, that is the collocation, rains.
Yes, I forgot about the tense.
Okay, that's fine. So this is what we are practicing, everyone, the tense. Okay, the second clause is future. Okay, but the first one is present. Okay, and one more, everyone. I'll do one more of these. So everyone remember, for these sentences, the first clause or phrase is always present tense. I'm sure you can see at the moment the problem is both clauses or phrases are future. That is the problem. So first clause should always be present tense. Second clause or phrase is future. Okay, Ming Nok, you are correct. Fung Duk Ang, you are correct. Nok Ling, you are correct. Le Duk Ang, not correct. Le Duk Ang. Same for you, Chung Hu. You are correct, Huang Ang. Le Duk Ang, that is correct. Okay, you are correct now. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Okay, again, remember, I sent you the correct answer, Chung Hu.
Sorry.
Okay, so the first phrase or clause is present, must be present tense. Second one is future. So you must have an S, okay, on the end of the verb. If my friend visits, if it rains, okay, so that verb needs an S on the end. Okay, Chung Hu?
All right.
Okay, verb needs an S. So if it rains, not rain. If my friend visit should be if my friend visits. Any questions with that? Okay. Just get the next screen up, everyone. All right, we're going to watch a Band 9 student. In your daily life. Hang on just a moment. I'll have it so you can see the picture. A Band 9 student answering a couple of questions. I will ask you the same question. All right, everyone, please have a listen to these two questions.
Let's start off by talking about belongings in your daily life. Do you prefer having fewer or more belongings in your daily life?
I think personally for me, I'd prefer having fewer belongings just because I feel like it would be more easier to deal with on a daily basis, especially when it comes with technology, trying to decide like if I had a laptop and an iPad and a phone, I have all three of like the same kind of thing. I just think it would be easier to function in life with less.
What things can...
Okay, everyone, I'm going to play
Let's start off by talking
again.
about belongings in your daily life. Do you prefer having fewer or more belongings in your daily life?
I think personally for me, I'd prefer having fewer belongings just because I feel like it would be more easier to deal with on a daily basis, especially when it comes with technology, trying to decide like if I had a laptop and an iPad and a phone, I have all three of like the same kind of thing. I just think it would be easier to function in life with less.
What things can
Okay. Knockling.
Yes.
What are belongings? Knockling? Belongings. What does this mean?
I think belonging is some daily items.
Belonging, close, Knockling. A belonging, everyone, is just something that belongs to you. A belonging. Belonging is a noun. Belonging is something that belongs to you. Can be anything. Can be your clothes, your laptop, okay, your bag, okay, your glasses, your anything. Anything that you own or use is your belongings. It belongs to you. Okay, not a very common word in English, but one you do need to know. Belongings. Okay, now you know what it means. Let's look once again or listen to her answer.
Let's start off by talking about belongings in your daily life. Do you prefer having fewer or more belongings in your daily life?
I think personally for me, I'd prefer having fewer belongings just because I feel like it would be more easier to deal with on a daily basis, especially when it comes with technology, trying to decide like if I had a laptop and an iPad and a phone, I have all three of like the same kind of thing.
Okay, I'll go back now a bit.
For me, I'd prefer having.
Okay, this word here, prefer. Huang ang.
Yes,
Prefer. What does prefer mean? Prefer.
I think prefers mean to like to prioritize something.
Is correct. Okay, prefer just means this is what I would rather have. I prefer banh mi instead of pho. Means I like banh mi better. Just it means something that you would like to have. Prefer.
Fewer belongings just because I feel like it would be more easier to deal with on a daily basis.
Okay, daily basis is a collocation. Daily basis just means every day. It's another way of just saying every day. Daily basis, slightly more formal. Okay, you might say, for example, to answer this question, how often do you go to school? I go to school daily. You could say, I go to school on a daily basis. Means the same thing, but you don't need to. Much easier just to use one word instead of two. I go to school daily. Means you go every day, of course. I go to school on a daily basis means exactly the same thing. It's just slightly more formal. So daily basis is a collocation.
Especially when it comes with technology, trying to decide like if I had a laptop and an iPad and a phone, I have all three of like the same kind of thing.
Okay, and just one thing she's doing, just be careful of using the word like. She doesn't need to use this word. Okay? It is a little bit very informal, very slang, very American. She could just say, I have all three of the same kind of thing. Doesn't need to say like. Okay, so when you hear this, if you are watching maybe some American movie or something on YouTube, they will often use the word like. You don't need to use that word. It is just slang. Okay, going back to the beginning now, I'm going to ask you all the same question, please, everyone.
Let's start off by talking about belongings in your daily life. Do you prefer having fewer or more belongings in your daily life?
Okay, Huang Ang.
Yes.
Okay, going to start with you, Huang Ang. Okay, so remember everyone, I want you to give replies that are natural, not too long, not too short. Answers should be 2 or 3 sentences. Okay.
Wait, before you asking, I want to ask, what is the belonging? I missed that part.
Oh, you missed the part. Belonging is just something that belongs to you. something
Oh.
that you own or something that you have. For example, your clothes, your laptop, your book, your phone, your watch, anything that it belongs to you. Does that make
Oh,
sense, Wang Ang?
I now understand.
Okay, good. Belonging is just something that you have. You have. No one else has. Although you might share belongings, but belonging, something that belongs to you, something that you have or you own. Okay, so remember, as always, don't give one-word answers, never give a one-word answer, and don't try to memorize answers. Just be natural, 2 or 3 sentences. Okay, Wang Ang, do
Yes.
you prefer having fewer or more belongings in your daily life?
It depends on what belonging I wanted. For example, I have a collection of of books, but I am afraid of managing them, so I would like to have a few of them.
Good answer. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone be ready to go, please. Do you prefer, Chung Hu, having fewer or more belongings in your daily life?
Hmm. I am not sure on this one, but I rather prefer having a medium amount of belongings because like maybe I have to give them when I need the most or something like that.
Okay, that's fine, Chung Hu. That's good. By the way, remember what I was talking about last week when you were learning new words? That's what we are practicing now. If belongings is a new word for you, notice we are learning it in context. We're learning it in a sentence. That is very important for helping you to remember a new word. You must learn it in context as part of a sentence. Will help you remember. Phong Dok Ang.
Yes.
Do you prefer having fewer or more belongings in your daily life?
For me, I prefer more belonging in my life because I have a various option to choose. For example, if you have 2 or 3 shoes, you can choose the one in Monday, choose the second in Thursday, and the last is Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So not bad, Phung Duk Ang, not bad. You just need to, we will keep practicing this so you can improve your fluency. Okay, what you are saying is fine. You're just hesitating a little bit too much, but that's fine. Don't worry about that. That's why we are practicing.
Yes, thank you.
Le Duk Ang,
Yes.
do you prefer having fewer or more belongings in your daily life?
So for me, having more belongings, especially for technology, like laptop, like all the electronic stuff, is good for youngster, especially boys. Like boys have a very curiosity, like tends to have
Okay.
curiosity. So
Okay, good. Okay, the way you say it, boys are very curious.
curious.
Okay? Boys are very curious, or boys have a lot of curiosity. Okay, can say that either way. But
Yeah.
that's good, the Dok Ang. Okay, again, good answer, good length. Nok Ling,
Yes.
do you prefer having fewer or more belongings in your daily life?
Personally, I prefer having more belongings in my daily life because in the life, we have faced up with many different situations. So having more belongings can enable me to choose the most suitable thing to meet my demand.
Okay, and remember, it's always a good idea. Actually, Leduk Ang did, and Fung Duk Ang did so as well. Give an example if you can think of one.
Yes.
Okay, Nockling? Yeah, give an example of something that you use every day. So you might say, for example, what about, do you have a phone, Knockling?
Yes.
Okay, you might say, for example, my phone, that is a very important belonging for me. I look at it all the time. Okay?
Yes.
So just give just a simple example. A simple example. That's all you need to do. Ming Nok,
Yes.
do you prefer having fewer or more belongings in your daily life?
And definitely, in my point of view, I would love to have more belongings because I would love to fulfill my ambition, and it's which is a proof for my effort to achieve it. So, for example, it's my watch, which is the first prize when I won a big competition at school.
Great. Okay. Great answer, Ming Nok. Okay. You gave a reason and you gave an example. Okay. So that is a great answer. Very good. Just one thing, everyone. Remember, there is no right or wrong answer to any of this. You just give your opinion, how you feel. And maybe when you get older, closer to my age, you might start to think, maybe I should have less belongings, because the problem with having too many belongings is, of course, you have to, one, look after them, and two, find somewhere to put them all. Different when you are young, I know, but after a while you can get too many belongings. So just something for you to think about. Okay, we're going to look at one more of these questions before we move to speaking part two. Ming Nok, Ming Nok, Ming Nok, oi, can't hear me. Knockling,
Yes.
Knockling, I will get you to go first, okay, for the next question when we have looked at it, okay?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, everyone.
I think personally for me, I'd prefer
Going to go to question two now.
kind of thing. I just think it would be easier to function in life with less.
What things can you not live without?
Ooh, my phone. I can't live without my phone. What else can't I live without? Water, always staying hydrated, and my cats.
How do you organize your belongings?
Okay, you will notice two things there, at least two things. One, she paused a little bit. At the beginning of her answer, she goes, okay, you're allowed to do this. It's quite natural. Remember, this is a test of communication. So you are allowed to be natural and you are allowed to pause for a little bit, but not too long, of course. So she pauses. She repeated the question. Repeating the question is a good way for you to have time to think of what you want to say next. Just repeat the question, quite natural. All right. And actually, number three, she laughed. You are allowed to laugh. Okay. You don't have to be all formal and serious. You are allowed to laugh because remember, Ielts is a test of communication. When people are communicating, sometimes they laugh. All right, just check some of these words for you. Make sure you are familiar with all of these words.
What things can you not live without?
Ooh, my phone. I can't live without my phone. What else can't I live without? Water, always staying hydrated.
Okay, this word here might be new to some of you. Hydrated. Hydrated means you have enough to drink. Okay, very important, of course, in summer in Vietnam to stay hydrated. Make sure your body has enough water, that you have had enough to drink. That's what hydrated means. Hydrated. Chung Hu. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
What does hydrated mean?
Like you got enough water in your body.
Good, very good. You are paying attention. Very good, Chung Hyo. Okay.
And my cats.
How do you
Okay. So she listed three things there. She said she can't live without her phone, can't live without water, can't live without her cats. And she laughed. Okay, very natural. Very natural. Knockling, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Oh, okay. What things can't you live without, Knockling?
Hmm, it's an interesting question. Personally, I cannot live without my phone because my phone
Phone.
help me keep in touch with my friends and my family. It's helped me find some useful information for my study. If I lost my phone, I definitely will frustrated.
Ah, very good answer. Just the last part, Knockling. If I lost my phone, I would, what did you say? I would definitely feel frustrated. Is that
Yeah,
what you said? Okay, that's correct. Good. If I lost my phone, I would definitely feel frustrated. So, good answer, Knockling. You gave three reasons. Very good. Okay, very good. Okay. What did you say at the start of your answer, Knockling? You said
it is
you
an interesting.
interesting question. Okay, good, everyone. So you are allowed to do this. This is another good way of just giving yourself a moment to think. That's an interesting question, or I've never thought about that before. But, okay, you can say introductions like that. Ming Nok,
Yes,
are you ready, Ming Nok?
yes, definitely ready.
Okay, what things can't you live without?
That's a good question. I think it must be phone. I haven't imagined about the future that I lost my phone because it will drive me insane, and I can't stand the feeling that I can take a photo to update my life to my friends or maybe just surfing on the internet.
Okay, very good answer, Ming Nok. Okay, good. Again, three different parts to that answer. Very good, very natural. Insane, that's very good adjective. Ming Nok. Ledok Ang,
Yes.
do you know what insane means? Insane.
Go crazy.
Correct. Good, everyone. So that's a word, that's a useful word again. So for those of you who don't know, insane just means, oh, they are crazy. All right, there's something wrong with them in their brain. Okay, they are insane. Insane is just a more formal way of saying crazy. Okay, are you ready, Ladok Ang?
Yes.
What things can you not live without, Ladok Ang?
For me is um technology stuff like from fridge to laptop, phones, any of that is I cannot live without it because every day I have to contact with uh s- my teacher and my classmate so I can update the
Okay, good. That's good. That's enough, Ladok Ang. Every day I have to contact my teacher. Don't need to say with. Okay, Ladok Ang? Don't need to say with.
okay.
Every day I have to contact my teacher, my friends, my parents if I am going to be home late. Does that make sense, Ladok Ang?
Mm, okay.
Okay, so don't need to use with. You can, but you don't need to use it. In natural conversation, you would just drop the with. Fong Dok Ang,
Yes.
what things can you not live without?
Um, Personally, football is this thing I cannot live without. Like, when you're scoring a goal, they will boost the dopamine so bad. And the second is Yeah.
Sorry, Phung Duk Ang, what is the second?
I would think it's what I forgot.
Sorry, you've forgotten a word.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
And I forgot what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
I remember I will say two things, football
Mm-hmm.
and the one is
Football, and the other one is?
yeah.
You can't remember what the other one was. Is it something like laptop, phone, food? Food.
Yeah, yes, food, the food. And the Vietnamese cuisine always popular for the delicious and the diversity.
Okay, good. So good adjectives. Phung Duk Ang, good. Okay, so Phung Duk Ang says football and food. Chung Hu. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
What things can you not live without?
Uh, the thing I cannot live without is basically my phone. Yeah, because like without it, it would be very boring because I have like nothing to do when I at home.
Okay, it would be very boring because I have nothing to do when I'm at home. And one more sentence, probably, Chung Hu, giving an example of one thing you use your phone for. What is that, Chung Hu? What is just one thing you use your phone
Oh,
for?
watching movies.
Good. Okay. All right.
Right.
If I'm at home and have nothing to do, I can use my phone to watch movies. Okay. Okay, so remember, give an example if you can. Everyone give an example. Okay, thank you, Chung Hu. And finally, Huang Ang. Huang Ang.
Yes.
Okay, what things can you not live without, Huang Ang?
It will be probably my laptop because I use laptop for almost every thing I use for entertainment in my life, like games, or I can even use it to communicate with other people. So
Oh,
I guess
mhm.
it would be my best partner in the rest of my
Okay,
life.
okay, good. Again, some good use of vocabulary. Everyone, good. So you will sometimes in part one be asked strange questions. Little bit like that. Maybe something you've never thought of before. Just like that. What can't you live without? Okay, but you must give an answer that makes sense. But that's good. Everyone managed to do that, which is great. Are there any questions before we leave part one for today? Any questions? Okay, now we're going on to part two. Going to send you a topic in chat. This is the same topic I sent you for homework 2 weeks ago. So for those of you who did the homework, okay, you can use your answer to answer this question. Okay, Leduk Ang. Leduk Ang.
Yes.
Can you read what I have just sent you, please?
Or just a bullet point.
No, all of it, please.
This is part two, speaking question. Describe an old person that you know. You should say what your relationship is with this person. How often do you see them? What people think about this person, and explain why you like them.
Okay, good. Good reading. Thank you, Leduk Ang. So remember what I said before. You need to, one, make up your own bullet points if these ones are not enough. Okay, please make your own bullet points if you need to. Maybe you don't need to. Maybe those bullet points are enough for you, but you can make your own. And number two, try to tell some story. Those of you who did the homework 2 weeks ago, I got some good stories. Thank you. Okay, so you can use your story to answer this question. So this time I want everyone to speak for 1 minute on this topic. 1 minute. So, and remember with the bullet points, you don't have to answer the bullet points, but you do have to answer the main question, which is describe an old person that you know. Okay, you must answer that part of the question. You don't have to answer the bullet points. And remember, if you have forgotten, we need extra bullet points because, well, for example, I could answer this question by saying, okay, I want to talk about my grandfather. I see them maybe once a month. People really like him, and I like him too because he is kind. Okay, so I talk for about 10 seconds, which is not long enough. If this was a test, I should talk for 2 minutes. So I need to have some story or some more bullet points to help me fill in the 2 minutes. Okay, Chung Hu. Chung Hu. Okay, I'm going to start with you, Chung Hu. Okay?
Yeah, wait, give me a moment to
Okay,
prepare
just one
myself.
moment to remember for this test, everyone. If this was a test, you would have 1 minute to think about this. Only 1 minute. Only
Thank
one
you very
minute.
much.
Let me know when you're ready, Chung Hu. I remember you gave me a good answer for this. Okay, Chung Hu?
All right.
Are you ready, Chung Hu? Let me know. Let me know when you're ready. Okay, so I'm going to go. Chung Hu, Huang Ang, Ming Nok, Le Duc Ang, Nok Ling, and Fung Duc Ang will be last. Okay, so Chung Hu, Huang Ang, Ming Nok, Le Duc Ang, Nok Ling, and Fung Duc Ang. Chung Hu, are you ready?
I think I am.
Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute, Chung
So,
Hu. Starting from now, please.
so today I will tell you guys about my grandma. Um, Basically, I know her for my whole life. This is fact, and because of the fact that when I was a kid, she was the only one who raised me. And right now, due to the fact that we now live very far away from my home, we only be able to see her during the weekend or like some holiday like Tết. Everyone, even my neighbor, told me that she is the kindest person you will ever meet, and also the type of person who will help the other no matter what. It's quite just like last year in the summer holiday, um, it was a really
Okay, thank you, Chung Hu. That is 1 minute already. That is 1 minute already. Sorry to interrupt you. What story were you going to tell, Chung Hu, by the way? Just quickly, for example, you were going to say
like how she have a cat as a pet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. So you had a story. That's good. I want everyone, when you are answering this question, to have a story, okay? Because remember, if you start to tell a story, very easy to fill in 2 minutes, very easy. And having a story gives you a chance to show your vocabulary, which is the other important thing. Okay, thank you, Chung Hu. Huang Ang, are you ready?
I guess.
Okay, so Huang Ang, Ming Nok, and then Le Duc Ang. Okay, Huang Ang, you have 1 minute, starting now, please.
So today I want to describe you about my grandma, who is the main cook for my family. She does almost every household chores. chores since my parents are busy from work and I was also busy from like a student homework too. So she's such a nice person to deal with. Um, I was injured myself in the like I tried to make the cook and she healed like a healed well for me. I was impressed by her skills were were stated to Vanessa.
Okay, that is 50 seconds, Huang Ang. Okay,
Thank
so
you
a
very
little
much.
bit short. So what I was waiting for, Huang Ang, so you mentioned your grandmother is a great cook. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so you need to give, of course, some examples of what she cooks. All right?
Okay.
Okay, give an example of something that she cooks that you really enjoy, that you think is delicious. I know you mentioned that her cooking is delicious, but give some examples. And then maybe, if you can, tell a story about some time she cooked something for you or your family. Maybe you went to visit her at Tet, and even though she's getting quite old now, she still made this wonderful meal. Okay, it had several different courses in it. First of all, we started with some soup, and she also made some delicious spring rolls. I really like her spring rolls because they are so crunchy on the outside, but inside the filling is so delicious. See what I mean, Huang Ang?
You
Does that make
understand?
sense? That makes sense?
Yes.
Okay, good. So that is the sort of thing I want you to try and do. Ming Nok.
Yes.
Okay, you are next. Ming Nok, Le Duk Ang, Nok Ling, Fung Duk Ang. Okay, you ready, Ming Nok?
Yes, I'm kind of ready.
Okay, 1 minute. Please start.
So I would love to talk about my grandmother. She's the one who I respect a lot. So since I was a kid, I have been raised up by her hand, and she's such a good cook. She's warm-hearted. She's also a kind person that I really admire her, and she also really optimistic. That I remember that there is a time she told me that I'm not old. You have to call me an 18 years old girl. I think she's really optimistic and she's also something really positive about life. So I would love to talk about her food. She cook really good. She have some, yeah, I have to admit that her spring rolls is the best food I have ever eaten in my life. It's really crunchy and I think she add
Okay,
some.
1 minute. Thank you, Ming Nok. 1 minute already. Okay, and very good, Ming Nok. Okay, you start to tell, you gave good examples. Okay, that was funny about how she is an 80-year-old girl. Okay,
Okay.
great. All right, and then you were starting to talk about her spring roll. Yummy, make me hungry.
Yes.
Okay, so that's good, Mingnok. Just one thing I will correct. You said I was raised up by her hand. Okay, all
Yeah.
right, which is not quite right in English. You just say she raised me.
Yes.
She raised me. You
Yeah.
know, I really respect her the most because she raised me.
Yes. I
Uh,
translated from Vietnamese. Yes.
Right. Yeah,
Into
yeah. Of
English.
course, that is the problem when you are translating direct from another language. Sometimes it doesn't work exactly. But yeah,
Yes.
so just remember, she raised me. She raised me. So just the simpler you can make it, the better. Okay,
Mm.
there's nothing wrong with using simple language. Nothing wrong at all, as long as it's correct. Good, Ming Nok. Very good. Ledok Ang,
Yes.
are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, one minute starting from now, please.
So today I would talk about my grandpa. Yes. Uh, Even though I don't communicate with him much because we don't have much topic to say about, but he is pretty sagacious and he has much knowledge and life skills. he has a kind personality because I can see it through his expression and through his way teaching me about life. And he has a lot of good friends. Many of them shows respect to him and describes him as strong and knowledgeable. Uh, I I was raised by him too, from kindergarten to the end of the first grade, right? Third grade. Yes, he teach me how to speak and do calculation.
Okay, good. Thank you, Ladok Ang. All right, that's 1 minute already. That's good. You're giving some good examples. So, a couple of things. First of all, don't say cause, okay? Say because. All right, cause is too informal for a test like this. Okay, Ladok Ang?
Okay.
Okay. So always use because. Cause is too informal. Has to still be a little bit formal for these tests. So always use because, not cause. Secondly, I think the word you used was sagacious. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay. What does sagacious mean, Dok Ang?
something like you have hmm, how can I
Okay.
describe?
Interesting word. So be very careful about using words you are not sure exactly what they mean. I will send
I
all of
cannot
you.
describe it, but when you
I
go like older, then you can still like communicate and do many stuff like
Okay,
go
it it
to
it it basically means this. I'll send it to you. Okay, the dokang means this.
yes, wise.
Yes, exactly. Wise. So you'd be better if you are not exactly 100% sure of how this word works. Just say wise. Okay? Just say wise is good enough. It's yeah, if you don't use a word like sagacious is great, but it's very formal. It's a very formal word. There would be a lot of native speakers who are not sure about this word. And unless you use it exactly 100% correctly, they will treat it as a mistake. Okay,
Oh,
so sometimes better just to say, okay, I'll use the word wise. All right, means the same thing, and I'm not making a mistake. Does that make sense, Ledokang?
yes.
Okay, and what I will say again, the last thing, Ledok Ang, you're getting very fluent, Ledok Ang. It's great, but for this sort of exercise, you talk about how he raised you, okay, and taught you things. Please tell a story of something you did together when you were young. Okay, same for you, Mengnok. Same for you. If you're talking about a grandparent who looked after you when you were very small and they helped you, tell a story about something they helped you with. Maybe they took you fishing in the lake. Maybe they taught you how to do maths or something, anything. Maybe they taught you how to ride a bike.
Oh,
Okay.
I said it in the end.
You're going to say it at the end. Okay. That's
Yeah,
fine,
I
Ladokang.
just said it. Like he
Yeah.
t teach me how to read and do calculation. It's just
Good.
math. Yes.
Good. Yeah, good. But tell more of a story, Ladokang. Makes it much easier for you. Okay. So you might say, he taught me how to do maths and calculations. I remember when I was young and in second or third grade, I found some of the maths problems very hard. There was one that I remember was about how to add different factors, but he got a piece of paper and he wrote it all down and he showed me. Does that make sense, Ledok Ang?
Yeah.
So talk about the whole thing, not just that he showed me how to do maths and calculations, but talk about it in more detail. It will help you fill up the time very easily. But that's good, Ledok Ang. Do you have any question for me?
No. Thank
Okay, good. All right, so next, Nok Ling and then Fung Dok Ang. Thank you for being patient, you two. Are you ready, Nok Ling?
Yes, I'm ready now.
Okay, please start.
I have met many people in my life, but I tend to love the older, more because of the diverse knowledge and experience. My grandfather is one of them. Um, in my childhood, I lived in my hometown, so I could meet him every day of my life. But now I moved to Hanoi, a bustling city, so I can only meet him on some special occasion or some weekend. Um, in my mind, he is a great person. When he was 12 years old, he took part in government campaigns. At this time, not many people could read or write because Vietnam was carrying out the resistance war against America.
Okay, that's good. That's 1 minute already, Knockling. 1 minute already. Good. That's good. So just one thing I will say to you, Knockling, you have good vocabulary, okay? Not many mistakes, which is great. Just be careful, Knockling, that you don't write too much down, okay? All right. Otherwise, it sounds like you are reading. And of course, in the test, you won't get a chance to write much down. Okay. In the test, in your 1 minute preparation, all you can really do is just write down some key words that remind you of what to talk about. Like, for example, you talking about he went to some demonstration. Is that right, Knockling?
Yes.
Is that what you were saying? Okay. So you maybe would just write the word demonstration, okay, to remind you of what to talk about. You were saying that you used to see him a lot in your hometown, but not when you moved to Hanoi. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, again, just write down something like used to see him much more. Okay, and then just talk around that. So what you were saying is fine, but it was sounding to me a little bit like you were reading it instead of telling me
Yes.
the story. Okay, so just be careful of that. I know you've had a lot of preparation time, but be careful that you don't try to practice and rehearse too much in your mind, because then it doesn't sound natural. Does that make sense, Knockling?
Yes.
Especially when you say things like, when I came to Hanoi, which is a bustling city, that doesn't sound very natural. Okay. It sounds like something you have written down
Yes.
to say about Hanoi. Okay. So just be careful of that. You want to sound natural. Okay. Thank you, Nok Ling. Fong Dok Ang.
Yes.
Okay. Are you still awake, Fong Dok Ang? Sorry to keep you waiting. Here we go. Fong Dok Ang, 1 minute starting from now.
Okay. Um, I will uh I w- I will talk about my English teacher is Mr. Rick, and I think he's the great person. He is patient, intelligent, and kind people. You know, um, uh, when when I meet him a first time, I feel positive energy. And sometimes I misheard him, like like the word restaurant, because I always speak I always speak like restaurant, and I get him
Okay,
as
that's good. Okay, so that is 1 minute. Thank you, Fong Dok Ang. Okay,
yeah.
and thank you for the kind things that you said. So what you are saying is good, Fong Dok Ang, and you are going to give an example, which is great. What I need you to do, Fong Dok Ang, is just talk a little more fluently. Okay? At the moment, you are having too many spaces between your words.
Yeah.
Okay? It sounds a little bit like this. I want to tell you about my teacher. Okay, now I'm exaggerating. Okay, it
It,
wasn't that bad, but that's what
it,
it's sounding a little bit like. All right. So you need to be able to speak naturally, just like you are talking to, your mother or father or one of your friends. okay, one of your friends at football. Okay, you
Yes.
need to be able to do that. All right. The more we practice this, okay, the easier it will become. But I need you just to be aware of that in your mind. I know, Fung Dokang, you are being very careful. You are being very careful with what, because you want to do it correctly. I understand that. But I do need you just to speak a little more fluently. All right. At the moment, so don't worry, Fung Dokang, if you are making some mistakes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Just try to speak without having too much hesitation between words or sentences. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, but what you were saying was fine, and you had an example, which is great, but I just need you to be more fluent. And that is means you need to think a little bit more. Sorry, you need to speak a little bit more without thinking too much. That is what is slowing you down. Okay. Any
Teacher.
questions? Yeah.
Yeah. I will plan something so I can speak without without thinking.
Can you practice something so you can speak without thinking?
No, when I preparing for speaking, I will plan it first in my head, and next I will speak it.
Right.
But but uh but sometimes I have to remember it, so it's so hard to
Okay.
speak fluently.
I understand. So this is the same thing I was saying to Nok Ling before. You don't have time for this test to practice it in your head too much. You must be able to just write down some key words. And so you can look at your list of key words and be able to talk about them. Okay, so for example, for this, you might say, okay, I'm going to speak about my teacher. Teacher is kind. Okay, so you write down teacher characteristics. Example, what did he teach me? Okay,
Yeah.
and you won't during the test, this is what you can practice in your spare time. See if you can practice just writing down some keywords about something about football, for example, Fong Dokang. Make it easy for you. Okay. Write down something like Liverpool, best goal this season. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then practice just talking about that without writing it down. Talk
Yes.
for 10, 15 seconds about the best goal you think they've done this season. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
But without rehearsing it too much in your mind, because you don't, for something like that, you don't need to. You can just talk about, oh, I remember 4 weeks ago, Mohamed Salah, he scored a great goal. You know, the ball was passed to him on the halfway line. Okay. He ran down the side of the touch line. Okay. He beat three defenders. Then, with his left foot, okay, he curled the shot into the top corner of the net. Okay, something, does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, just have the picture in your mind and just talk about it. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, good. All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you for practicing that. I know it's a bit hard. You all have to wait while the other person is practicing, but hopefully you can get some benefit from the comments I make to each different student. So like I was saying, the most important thing is to have some sort of story. All right, will easily help you fill up the 2 minutes. Doesn't have to be a long story. Okay, maybe just about the time your grandma made you spring rolls, why you enjoyed the spring rolls so much. Okay, doesn't have to be anything dramatic or anything special, just some sort of story, some sort of memory that you can talk about something. Okay, we'll practice more about this next week. So in the last part of our lesson for today, we're going to go back to writing task number 1, and we're going to go back to what we were looking at last week, which I will just share with you now. Nok Ling, can you see the graph? I know it's very small.
Yes, I can see the line graph.
Okay, great. Thank you. So everyone, remember I asked you last week, okay, to summarize. Remember, we're looking at the overview. The overview, which is the second paragraph of any writing task one answer. You always write an overview. And I asked you to describe for me last week, okay, the main things that you saw in the graph. All right. So here is an example of what someone else has said. These are the three main things in the graph. You can see how simple it is. I'll go back to the big graph in just a moment. But number one, this one here. Huang Ang, Huang Ang.
Yes.
Can
Yes,
you
sir.
read number one for me, please?
Uh, Burglary decreased dramatically.
Decreases dramatically. Okay, let's go back to the big graph, everyone, which is easier to see. Okay, here it is. Burglary is yellow. All right, so you can see the summary is burglary, burglaries decreased, should be past tense, remember, because this happened in the past. Burglaries decreased. What was the adverb? Huang Ang, dramatically, was it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, dramatically. You can see it went down. So this is a summary. So remember, for the overview, you were just summarizing. So you don't need to say, well, it went up a bit first, then it went down, then it went up a bit, then it fluctuated. That is too much detail. You can see burglaries went from a peak of about 3,700, okay, to in 2012, they were less than 1,500. They decreased dramatically. Okay, that is a very, and this is all you need to do for the overview. Just a simple one sentence or even a phrase describing overall what happened to burglaries. Number two, going back to this, Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Chung Hu, can you read number two, please?
Car theft increased steadily.
Good. Car
It is
thief increased steadily. Again, I'm using past tense, which is best. Car theft is the red line. You can see it increased steadily. Mostly it just every year went up a little bit. Yes, some years it went down, but generally it increased from, what is this, about 2,300 to about 2,700. It increased steadily, kept going up. Okay, and the last one of these, Ming Nok.
Yes.
Number three, please. Number three.
Number three is robbery remains steadily throughout the period.
Okay, and of course the past tense of remains is remained. Okay, so robberies, which is this color line, remained steady throughout the period. Yes, they went up a bit here. Yes, they went down a bit here and up a bit there, but generally, okay, from the beginning to the end of the period, no change. Okay, remain steady. So this is what you need to keep in mind when you are doing it. A summary. Now, I'll send you this in chat because when you write an overview, there are two words, I'll remind you of this, that I want you always to use at the start of your sentence. Okay, Nok Ling,
Yes.
can you please read what I have sent you in chat?
Overall, or it can be clearly seen that.
Good. Okay. Overall, or it can be clearly seen that. Please start your overview sentence always just using one of those two introductions, either overall or it can be clearly seen that. That's all you need to remember. Just start your sentence with that introduction. Okay. will help you on your way to a high score. That's all you need to remember. Start your paragraph with overall, or it can be clearly seen that. Okay, so what I want you to do, we're going to look at another graph, and I want you to write the overview for me. Okay. Leduk ang.
Yes.
Okay, can you please read the first two sentences for me that you can see?
Oh, what? What? Two
Two
sentences.
sentences.
It can be clearly seen
No,
that.
no, not those. The two sentences, you should be able to see the graph.
Yes.
Leduk ang. Okay, the two sentences above the graph.
The graph below shows the average monthly temperature in three major cities. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant.
Okay,
Yes.
relevant. Good, relevant. Okay, relevant means comparisons where they are useful. All right, but okay,
that was
thank you,
familiar.
Leduk ang. Yeah. So you can see, everyone, this graph shows the average monthly temperatures in three main cities. Nok Ling.
Yes.
What is on the x-axis of this graph, please?
I think the x-axis is about the number of the main feature.
Give me a one-word answer. Nok Ling. What is on the x-axis? One word.
The number of temperature.
Correct. Temperatures is the word I was looking for. Temperatures. Okay. Temperatures. This is the x-axis, everyone. Measures temperatures. Fong Dok Ang.
Yes.
I'm sure you know what I'm going to ask you next. What does the y-axis show? One
Is
word.
it is a month.
Months. Okay, good. This is a very easy graph, easy example. X-axis, temperatures. Y-axis, months. Okay, a whole year worth of months. And Ming Nok.
Yes.
Okay, what are the three cities we are looking at here? The three cities.
We're looking at Paris, Boston, and Melbourne.
Correct. Good. Okay, everyone. So I want you to look at this graph, please, and I want you to send me now in chat, okay, your overview. Remember, your overview must start with overall, or it can be clearly seen that. Okay, one of those phrases is better for this graph than the other one. That's why I've given you two. So again, just to remind you, you can see, all right, for the graph that was about crime, okay, these were the three things that happened for the overview, okay? These are the three things that happened. So I want you to find out the three main things. Do the same thing for this graph, the same thing as that. Anyone got any questions? Please send me your answers in chat. I look forward to seeing them in just a moment. So you are sending me a summary of what happened to the temperatures in these three cities. And again, you must start your answer with overall, or it can be clearly seen that. Up to you. You choose which one you think is best. And I think I've mentioned this before, but in an overview, you never mention numbers. An overview is just a summary of the trends. Numbers you mention in the detail paragraphs, which we will come to next week. So no numbers in your answer, please. You can, however, mention months. You can mention months if you want, but I don't need any numbers. But you can mention months. Okay, who is first? Chang Hu, you are first. Very good. Okay, Chung Hu, not bad. Just some grammar. Just some grammar things. Okay. Chung Hu,
Yeah.
what is past tense for start? What is past tense?
Started.
Correct. Okay. Remember, you're using past tense always. Okay. So it should be
Right.
started. Okay.
Or
All right. And again, you got Boston rise to its peak. What should rise be, Chung Hu? Past tense. What is past tense of rise?
rice. Rose.
Correct. Okay. So you use that in the first sentence, but you didn't in the second sentence. So again, just remember past tense always.
Okay.
And past tense of decrease, Chung Hu, past tense of decrease
Uh, decrease. Oh.
is decreased with a D.
Oh. Yeah.
Decreased. Decreased. Okay, good. All right, thank you, Ming Nok. Okay, Ming Nok.
Yes.
All right, so first of all, it's pretty good, Ming Nok, but just some grammar things. Temperatures needs to be plural, okay? The temperatures in Paris and Boston, because you're using the word both.
Yes.
Okay, so temperatures there must be plural to match your use of the word both. All right, and just your in the second sentence. So great linking word, Ming Nok, whereas. Great, perfect. But marginally is not the correct adverb. Ming Nok? Marginally means a tiny little bit.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so marginally is not quite correct. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you would need to think of an adverb that describes that drop, not marginally. Okay, Feng Duk Ang.
Yes.
Okay, you've done one Feng Duk Ang, but you need to do the other two cities. Okay?
Did I do two city in one sentence or two?
Up to you. Up to you.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. If you think it looks better or it's easier to write in 3 sentences, do 3 sentences. Okay, up to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Huang Ang.
Yes.
So first of all, Huang Ang, your English is perfect. No grammar mistakes, no spelling mistakes. Excellent. But what you're writing about doesn't quite say what happened in the graph over 12 months. So you have written, Huang Ang, overall the temperature in Melbourne and Paris didn't change much, okay, which is not true. Does that make sense, Huang Ang?
Yeah, I think also not the mistakes.
Yeah, if you say didn't change much, it would say, I know what you are trying to say. You are saying, well, in January and December, the temperature is pretty much the same, okay? But of course, there was a big change in between those months. So you have to say something about that. Does that make sense? Otherwise, from what you have written, it makes it look like the temperature in Melbourne and Paris stayed the same all year. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay, as of course it changed. Okay, so you have to reflect that change in your writing. So I hope that makes sense, Huang Ang. But what you have written, Huang Ang, the grammar and your spelling, everything is perfect. All right. But you didn't, so you would get top marks for that, but you wouldn't get top marks for the meaning. Lock Ling.
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty good, Knockling. Pretty good. Good use of the word significantly. Great. Perfect. And also dramatically. Good. All right. Probably the only thing I would say, this is good, Knockling, is using the word grew. Don't usually say temperatures grew.
Yes.
Okay. Can do. What do temperatures do, Knockling? What do they do? What verb can you use instead? Temperatures not grew, they. Sorry, Knockling, I think you are frozen. I'll come back to you about that. Okay, Ledok Ang.
Yes.
Okay, Ledok Ang. Again, you're the same as Huang Ang. What you are writing doesn't actually reflect what is happening on the graph. Okay? You're saying temperature remains unchanged, but that's not true over the course of the year, is it? It
Yeah,
does change
but
during the year.
during the year, but in the first of the month and the end of the month.
Okay,
Seems
is the
like no
same.
change.
You,
Yes.
yeah, you are right. It is the same. You are right. But
I said January to, oh,
in between, you still must describe what happened. This is why it's a little bit different from the other one. Okay, you still have to describe what happens during the year.
Hmm.
Okay, otherwise it sounds like the temperature in Melbourne never changed all year.
So what should I say?
Not true. I will show you in just a
The
moment.
peak of
Okay,
the,
I will show you in just a moment. Okay, Fung Dok Ang.
Yeah.
Okay, the temperature in Melbourne slowly reduced in the first, okay, 7 months, then increased from around, okay. So just remember, no numbers, Fung Dok Ang, please. In the overview, you never need to use any numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, just say increase, but you can use months. You can use the names of the months,
Yes.
but save the numbers until the detail paragraphs, which come next. Remember, you're just describing overall what happened. Nok Ling, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, you froze before when I was asking you what verb can you use instead of grew for temperatures, Nok Ling? Temperatures, not grew, but they begins with,
Increase.
yes, temperatures increase or temperatures decrease.
Yes.
Okay, that is the most common collocation. All right. And remember for these, just go with the most common one, the easiest one.
Yes.
Okay. You don't get any extra marks for trying to be clever. Okay. Just go with whatever is easiest. Temperatures increase, temperatures decrease. Okay.
Yes.
Plants grow. Okay. Plants grow. Plants don't increase. Plants grow. All right. So just use whatever is the simplest and most common collocation. Just use that, Nockling. Okay. That will help you get a top mark. And then you don't have to think. Just use whatever is the simplest. Okay.
Yes.
Does that make sense? All right, everyone. Almost time for the end of the lesson. I will send you all, everyone, now, an example of a model answer. Oops, not that. Hang on. Just coming. Get rid of that. Okay, just coming, everyone. Just a couple more seconds. Okay, here is a model answer. Leduk Ang, Leduk Ang.
yes.
Can you read me the answer, please?
Overall, the temperatures in Paris and Boston rose significantly from January to August, when they decreased dramatically to the end of the year, while Melbourne fell from the beginning of the year to July, then increased from August to the end of the period.
Okay, good. Good reading. So this, everyone, is a perfect answer. Okay, you could write this a slightly different way and it would still be fine, but this answer exactly describes what happens in the graph. Okay, so overall Paris, everyone, is the yellow line, of course. Temperatures in Paris, Boston is the red line, they rose significantly. All right, they didn't stay the same. Huang Ang, does this make sense to you?
It does not.
Good. Okay. The temperatures rose, and significantly is a great adverb. Okay. You could have said increased dramatically. Okay. There's a lot more adverbs you could have used as well, but significantly is fine. Just use the most obvious adverbs, the ones that come into your mind straight away. And then they decreased dramatically to the end of the year. That describes exactly what happened to Paris and Boston. Whereas, okay, could have used the linking word whereas, but while is also absolutely fine. Both those linking words are fine. Okay, Melbourne fell from the beginning of the year to July, then increased from August to the end of the period. All right, very simple, but it describes exactly what happens to each line over the 12 months. So you will notice no use of numbers, don't need any numbers at this stage, but you can, of course, use the months. In fact, you really have to, so you can point out what the changes are and when they happened. Okay, so is there anyone who has any questions about this, about how simple this is and what you need to do? So yes, even though the temperature at the beginning and the end was pretty much the same for every city, you still have to talk about the changes that happened in between. Okay, thank you everyone. That is the end of the lesson for today. As usual, if you have any questions, please let me or Mrs. Ha know. I will again send you homework tomorrow. The homework is paraphrasing practice. Now, I know a lot of you are very busy with other homework or maybe exams at the moment. I understand that. But if you have the time, of course, the homework I send you is very useful just for giving you practice at paraphrases. So please do it if you can. I look forward to reading it. So everyone, hope you have a great week. Meng Nok, hope your leg gets better soon. Okay.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
Meng Nok. Meng Nok, hope your cold gets better soon. Hope your cold gets better soon. Nok Ling, I hope your leg gets better.
Thank you.
Fong Duk Ang, I hope they sort out your nail problem.
Thank you.
Okay. Hope they fix that. Very annoying. All right. The rest of you, lovely to see you as always. Have a great week. I will see you next week. Bye, everyone. Thăm biệt.
Ciao.
Gặp lại bạn sau.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye,
Goodbye.
teacher.